This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi Kilayim. In the article for another edition, we are on Daf Ayin Beis Amav right after the Mishnah. Behema in Behema, which in the Vilna edition should be Lama Vav on the base. No, I'm signing on the base. No, I'm going to cut some off. Right after the Mishnah. Okay. Behema Behema Chuli. It's actually header which appears both in the Vilna and the article. Yehei Mami Tzchemetz Lakos and the Is it possible you can't put different types of species, females and males, together in the same enclosure? Tamar Bentachol Lo Tarbiya. The animal you should not mate. Ain also Elamarbia. This is only when you actually mate them together. But putting them in proximity is not a problem. So the Gemara is coming to explain what the Havamina is that you should that's also to put them in the same enclosure. Lo b'shehitil ufi daito meto. So the let's see the Moshe Parach v'chimasa maaseh im lo asa el sheyakiv zeh al zeh. What is he doing? Well, let's read like this way. Chimasa maaseh. Anytime you mate two animals together, what are you doing? Nothing, right? Lo shitil. It means when you actually or matil be a dime. And Moshe says, actually, you have to take, in order to be chayiv the rice, you have to take the male organ of the male and the female organ of the female and put them together. Otherwise, you're not chayiv because of hemtchol lotabir kilayim. So the having is, what do you ever do with mating anyway? Just put them together. No, the maskana is that in order to be chayiv the rice, so you have to actually put the one animal on top of the other animal. Ismail Akavi Omer. Ismail Akavia says, Omar, also the Kava Gabe prayed him a Kava Chomer. Now it's right on a mule. It's a Kava Chomer. If garments were allowed to wear one on top of the other, a linen garment on top of a wool garment, or vice versa, nevertheless, at Os B'Tarovtan, you're not allowed to wear their mixture. Paymashat also Hanigba, an animal which you're not allowed to not allowed to drive together a horse and a donkey, right? Even if you're not mating them, right? So which would be the equivalent of wearing linen and wool next to each other, juxtaposition, proximity. So if it's by linen and wool, we're allowed to wear them both next to each other. Also, b'tarofton, be'imashad also ani bazu lo koshkin shad also kovalea, right? It's not allowed to ride on the mule. Hi, b'ksiv yerkavu ish al predo be'enusu. So it says that I forget what the plus is talking about. Let's see what it is down, of course. Okay, let's talk about the Avshalom. So I'm not sure it's such a raya because now who says was doing the right thing, and but the Gemara answers by Ein Lamedim Min HaMalchus. So Ein Lamedim Malchus, the Moshe says, Klomri Beis HaMalchus, She'elu Yosim Ken Shlo Rotzim David or Shlo Yodem Yisrael Taka, that Avshalom would not be doing it. It was not necessarily Talmid Chacham not doing based on David's say-so. He was doing it on his initiative. Reb Chaim says that maybe he's doing it because of Pikuach Nefesh. So Pikuach Nefesh will be something else. I have here to look at the Chasam Sofer. I'm not sure what I wanted from here. There's a long chasm slaver. Yeah, it's interesting discussion about Turim's reason um, for the Issa Kilayim, Kili Behema, and he says, Khalil Ladun Talmud Torah Lasos Ma'aseh Akel, because about Turim wants to say that you're not allowed to put a malagera, an animal which is kosher, and choose its cuts together with a chamor, with a donkey, because Shara Chaver Ochev Lahu, because the donkey sees the cow eating because it's chewing its cud and not him. And it says, but you can't do, extrapolate from that and do a Maisa to be Mako, but Sharminim, it doesn't apply. Right here, Bepreda, Ilava, Chamushusina, anyway, etc. So it's interesting discussion here. Okay. Be as it may. Okay, Vaksiva Yechav Shlomo B'nai Preda, Asher Li, and there, obviously, so David himself giving the command. So, and it wasn't Pikuach Nefesh. So you see that either where it's not Pikuach Nefesh, okay, or that David HaMelech himself was Matfirit. So, it says, well, no, Bir Mishesh Mei Breishis. So that's not necessarily the Raya, because there, that Preda could have been a Bir Mishesh Mei Breishis. And the Bnei Moshe says, Venires Kepreda, Avalon no Kilayim. It looks like a Preda was not born from Kilayim. And this, and the Chasam Sofer, and this says, Shemitchila Tzvile Shor V'Chamor Lav Dafka, Lo Tachol Shor V'Chamor Lav Dafka. Okay, that's long. That's the Chasam Sofer. I don't think we have to get into right now. So Gemara says maybe it's a Bria Mishes Mei Bracious. In other words, that was a unique mule and not like the mules which we have today, which are Kilayim. Anyway, the Gemara doesn't seem to give the heter for Preda, just doesn't say that. It says that that one was not necessarily Arkan or Preda. But I believe the Chazal actually says Lochel Moshe Misina that a Preda is mutter, and perhaps not sure if it fits in the Gemara. But anyway, let's go on. If you make two animals go together in the same yoke without any maisa, you just make noise so they go, you get malchus. Botanican, we have a Bryce that says this. If you let it or you drew it, let it. We said one before it was the opinion that he was from the back and Mishichas in front. But anyway, the main point is the next one. Kurla vos achrav. The calling came after you. He's chayba l'shalim kashoyel. You're chayiv to. You're already chayiv, and if you're borrowing the animal, you're connected b'shela by the fact that you made it go even verbally. But Shmuel didn't Shmuel say says if there's an animal chutz tchum on Shabbos and you called it and it came, so you're not considered bringing it inside the tchum. So what's the difference? There it goes on its own. But here it's compelled to go. So the Chaim distinguishes between a case where you shouted it and the case where you called placidly. So the case of here is the case where you shouted it, and that's why you're chayiv. Whereas the case of tchum is one where you call it placidly, and that's why it's not. That's the distinction. But the problem is that by a shomer you're chayiv no matter what. So he says shomer chayiv no matter what because he's mekabel achrayus. The moment he says it's to come, even though he didn't do a ma'isa. Sharater so says that by the tchum it l'daitem aleches because it stands at it's at a distance, and it's not afraid of the other person. It's nice. Or when it says that you're close by it, and you go, yeah, and it's afraid of you, and then you are direct. It's like Garmi. as opposed to the distance. So then it's not afraid of you. It'll come. It'll not won't come. But it's its own option. The bechira chafshus of the animal. Vatani, didn't we learn? Tipea connected Eino, Sime, if you bang on the wall opposite the eye of a Evid, Kanani, and you get blinded. Connected Ozone, bang opposite his ear. For Chersha, and you made him deaf. Even though Evid Kanani is Yod B'Shem Ayin, that's not considered a mice that should go free. Why not? There, he can run away. In other words, is not the Eved is evidently participating in the hysterical blindness or hysterical the hysterical deafness which he's experiencing, and therefore that's not a riot. Tail Chashuke, so this is true. Tani, toughest by raise the chayv. If you grab onto him, then you shot in his ear, so then you're chayv. And evidently, in the way this blindness or this deafness works, if you're grabbing onto him, so then somehow that is direct hashbah, as opposed to if you're not grabbing onto him, ego that he could run away. It must be that he's somehow participating in making himself blind or deaf. Koron. So in the Mishnah we said somebody who was sitting in a wagon while the animal is leading the wagon is chayav because of Yerushalmi Kilayim. So this is actually a header in the article, and here I assume it's a header too in the Vilna, which is just doesn't look like it. Hayosh b'koron rabban. I mean mishkolhu. So Rabbanan say that it is his because of his weight, so therefore it's considered to be mani b'kilayim. The Rebbe explains that sometimes his weight causes the wagon to go one side or the other, and I guess the cargo actually goes one side or the other. And when he's sitting in the wagon, he counterbalances the cargo, and it goes in a specific way. So therefore, the animal is going in the way it's going on his account. Rameir says his weight does not do anything, or I guess it's indirect, and therefore he's not going to get malchus. But in the beginning, there were only two animals. Evidently, all chariots were drawn by two animals. Interesting way of learning the pasuk. Paro put Yosef in Merkavas HaMishnah. The double chariot was double chariot. Two animals. Merkavas HaMishnah sounds like it's the chariot of the second in command, but he's saying Mishnah means it has two animals. My Paro was shalosh. Paro decided that no, we're going to make three animals by a chariot. Sholishim al Kulo, which again the Pashut shot is that there were officers in charge of all the Egyptian troops. But the way Agmar was saying it, there were three. Amda Malchus Harashah so Arba. And the Romans claim finally they made the chariots have 4 horses. So I wrote this like more Tzarachin Tzas Luain Afkamina. Obviously there's something deeper here which the Gemara is trying to teach us. But in any event, obviously it's trying there was some idea that the chariots became more sophisticated weapons of war over time, and perhaps something even deeper than that. But that's what it means. It says in Mishnah, if you have cattle leading a wagon, you don't tie a horse not to the side of the wagon nor behind the wagons. And not the Libyan donkey when the wagon is being drawn by camels. Anybody who has one parent who's a horse, even though the father is a donkey, actually the mother's a horse. Even though the father is a donkey. So if you have a thoroughbred horse with an animal which is half donkey and half horse, but the mother's the horse, then it's not kilayim with each other. Same thing if the mother is a donkey. Even though the father is a horse, the thoroughbred donkey is mutter with the half-breed donkey whose mother is the donkey. But if you have one which is half-half, but different halves, one is the mother is the horse and the father is the donkey, the other is vice versa, Asurim Zem said they're forbidden with each other on account of kilayim. Says more, Enko Shrin as a sus lo tzedekon v'lo lachar karon. Well, that's the heading. Right? Right, Meir Poter. It says, it's Poter. In other words, it sounds like Poter, it's Poter also, but that's what Tanakama says too. So Pnei Moshe says, Tiny B'tosef, the Perakei B'gor Sosim Rameir Matir. He allows it. L'chatchila. You show us a sus b'tzadak to tie the horse to the side of the wagon. Havein kashim rabaka b'yachat, since it's not tied together with the cattle. To draw the wagon. Imaya Messiah, but if the third party horse, which is on the side, was helping, Ben Bemala, whether going up a mountain, Ben Berita, even coming down a mountain, how come on them and everybody agrees that it's usher. So the Amar B'Yocha, why is this? They should say no say Atzluso Shel Zeh, and Zeno say Atzluso Shel Zeh. So B'Yocha says because each one is compensating for the other one's laziness. Right? So therefore, they're all joining together. However, my nation no seems a chevel should be a sign. Rav says no because they had some rope, which was a common rope. Not that necessarily was tying all three together, but it was tying both of them to the wagon, so it was kind of like electric current going through the wagon to both of them, and therefore it's going to be it was considered to be kilayim on that account. If that is if that through that rope it's helping to draw the wagon. And then the more asks, okay, Rabbi boy, kashim b'saron. What happens if you tie the rope to its hair? Manakami, if it's kashim b'saro, if it's really tied in the hair, kachnu omrim asula ki behema gabe chaverta. If you tied each one to the other with its with their hair, says Bnei Moshe Kashur B'Sar Klomar Im B'Shekosher Rabbeima Atzmo B'Sar Lakom Mamish Ki Eina Mosheches Kalim Acheres Voy Im Zeh Mutar Kach Norim Asur Ki Beima Gabe Chaverta B'Tmiya V'Chi Kach Onu Omrim Shosur Ki Min Echad Min Acher Sheyeh Zeh No So Avay Lekach Chashash Midei Michael Miboyle. In this case, it's kind of like one animal is carrying another animal. They're not joining carrying together. One is carrying the other, which is not a problem. So the Imikosha Chela Bisaro, if they tied the rope in its hair, nomination no says Chela should be a sign. So what does this mean? The Ribaz explains. It says, Manavi Beneon, Kasha Bechevel. I think he changes the gears here. Yes, got interrupted there for a minute. So the Ribaz changes the gears to here. Let's go with Ribaz. Rabbi Yonamar Spagan Rabbi Yonamar Yochamar, sorry. Nation said no said Susan Joseph, then said Joseph, my nation no seem it's Chev should make sign. Man ofek bene home. Now this is where it changes. What's the difference? Kosher bechevel. If you tie it with a rope. Have a kosher besoro, with the hair, ben died to the rab, ben died to Rabbi Yochanan Potter. According to both it's Potter. Can't be king gears grows abak tabi kosher. Bachi perusho. This is what the gra means. Hani mili the nafkamina beneon. The difference between the two of them is kosher bechevel or saros canal. When you tie it by a rope to the hair, the Rabbi Yochanan mutter. When this animal pushes, it's going to hurt it, so therefore it's not going to push. Ava Rav no seem like a sign, but according to Rav, he's still carrying the rope. Like Shabbos, where the rope becomes a masa. Niksha b'saris l'chud. But if there's no rope, it's only tied by the hair. L'chuyam mutter. According to everybody, it's mutter. Rabbi Yochanan shouldn't the koivle. According to Rabbi Yochanan, it hurts It's not going to push the wagon. Rab mutar akiv behema agabi chaverta. According to Rav, you're allowed to have one animal ride another animal. According to this Mefurish, the Bekosh Besaris Leka Kan Lo Tam the Rav, Lo Tam Rabbi Yochanan. So therefore, when it's tied by the hair, there's no problem according to neither Rav nor Rabbi Yochanan. But only if it's tied with the rope to the hair, then we have Rav's issue of they're carrying the rope. That's when Nafkina pairs the borrow. Okay, I guess he wrote some different interpretation. Anyway, he goes on to say that there's a difficult that. Why don't we read this inside? A pair shamiti kidvarina bezos Hashem. They say zal siman reisayivav amadan yantav zal barosav zal hilchos kilayim amlu farish zul zal sapigos zagra zal kvirshenu shapir nachon bezos Hashem. This is according to the interpretation. It's good. The only thing is, according to the interpretation, a little bit doesn't mean that if it's tied by the hair, according to Rav, it's okay because mutal haki v'hema gabi chaverta. So evidently, because if it's tied by the hair, so then each one is drawing the other. The other animals are drawing it. It's as if it's riding on the other animals. It's not as if it's conducting with the other animals. Obviously not. So therefore, that's why it's mutter according to Rav. I think that brings us well to the next. Not a well, but this is the next lot. To Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph. Yeah. So therefore, we will stop here. So it does move to the well block.